welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Ginny, and as always, I thank you very much for choosing to spend some time with me. I last week said that I was going to work on my Ringstrand pants, and I did get started on them. I made up a muslin, and I'll show you a couple of pictures here. I made the size large in these, and this is actual muslin fabric, just so you know. I made the large because my waist really fell into the large category. My hips definitely fell into the medium. After I made the muslin up, I feel like I actually probably could have got away with the medium all around and I would have been okay. I think this is fine. I will take these in a little bit and see how they work. I also have to do a little bit of an adjustment at the back. You can see I have some pretty serious drag lines on the sides there. Yeah, and so I'm going to assess the fit on those a little bit more and continue working on those. Meanwhile, this week I had another outside project to do, which is this that I'm wearing right now. This is the Mimi G for Simplicity 9687. This pattern has 3 pieces. It's a pair of baggy pants, they call it a jacket. I actually always thought it was a shirt. I'm planning on making that at some point, but I will be making it as a shirt. And, excuse me, and this piece right here, which is the 3rd piece, that's the poncho. I made this not for myself, but I made it for a display garment for Haberman Fabrics. So, I have a couple things to tell you about this. I made this in, this is a really beautiful boiled wool. I don't think this one has any rayon in it. I think it's all, I think it's 100% wool. It is a little bit heavy. It's not too heavy for this garment. It's actually probably perfect for this garment. It's just a little bit heavier than I would normally probably pick, although it is an outerwear piece, so I think it's perfect for that. The other thing is, it's this marigold color that looks pretty bright on my screen, but I like this color. I don't wear it a lot, so that's the story with this. Now, this thing has, this couldn't be a more simple project. It has a back, a front, and a collar, plus this like half zip. So the fabric they gave me was actually a remnant, so I had to, I could fit the pattern in there, but I had to give it a center back seam. That's the only thing I did in terms of cutting that was different than the pattern. I had never done one of these half zips before, I don't think. If I have, I can't remember it. So when I first read the directions, I literally was just like completely mind boggled. I was like, what? So I put it aside. I came back to it the next day and I actually just followed along step by step with the actual directions, and the directions were perfectly fine. I totally got it once I just calmed down and read the directions. The only thing is that doing the zipper the way they tell you to do it requires a row of top stitching all around the zipper. And because my fabric is pretty thick, I have done that before and not been happy with the way that looks. So I didn't really want to do that. Instead, I made it much more complicated than it needed to be. I have a tutorial here. It was really supposed to be a different way to put this zipper in that would be like maybe easier for some people. I'll let you judge for yourselves whether or not it's easier. Okay, so here I have my poncho pretty much ready to go. I have my collar, but not my facing in. The way they have you do this is they have you press this slash opening. So you just cut a slit in the front of your fabric, right? And then you sew the collar on so that it's even with the slit. Now, the way they have you do the zipper is a little bit different. I am going to show you the way I will do it. Mine is going to look a little bit different because I'm using zipper tape. So there's no zipper stop. I have just cut mine so that this end of my zipper ends right where I want it to end, right down here. And this should go pretty much to the top, and I can cut off any extra later. So the first thing I'm going to do is they have you press this opening, this slash opening open at the very beginning. I am going to press it flat, except for this little triangle piece down here, this piece, these two side pieces, I'm just going to press flat. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this double-sided sticky tape and I'm going to run it all the way along this edge on the outside. So it looks like that. And I'm going to take the protective tape off. I'm going to lay my zipper down under here. I don't have a stop at the top of the zipper, so I have to be really careful about not pulling it all the way off. But all I'm going to do is flip this over like this. And I can line up the bottom of my zip right with the bottom, right with where that little triangle piece is. And I am just going to stick this together right along the edge. This little stitch line right here is 1/4 inch away from the edge, so that's my seam allowance. And I am going to stick this in here all the way up. And then I'm going to just give it a quick press to make sure it's secure. Okay, so now you can see I have that sort of glued in. I'm going to go to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew straight down from the top all the way to this edge right down here, all the way to the corner of my notch. Now, I don't have a zipper stop on mine, so I'm just going to start about 5/8 of an inch away from the top. You're going to need to start just right at your zipper stop, okay? Okay, that's the first side sewn in. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to flip this over. I'm going to put my basting tape down here. Right along the edge of my the edge of the zipper tape. And now we can see from this side that my tapes are matching up at the top and at the bottom. So now I'm going to go back to my sewing machine and just do the same thing. Sew that down with my 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way from where it splits, right here, all the way to the top. Okay, so that's what we look like now. I'm pretty happy with it. This bottom corner looks a little wonky, but we might be able to fix that in just a second. I did actually have to take one side out and redo it because my necklines weren't matching up, so just be careful of that. So for this bottom, I'm just going to flip this up and I am going to sew straight across this seam line that I have here, this little line where I did my basting stitches before I cut that opening. And I'm going to sew that right to my zipper tape. And I'm going to get as close, hopefully right on that line. Okay, so there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. I feel like my zipper is a little bit uneven, but I'm going to live with it. The only thing is, from the inside, I'm not crazy about the way this looks. That's what it looks like on the inside. I only have 1/4 inch seam allowances here, but I'm going to try to Hong Kong finish my zipper edge. And I'm going to do that by sewing a piece of bias tape to my seam allowance. We're going to shoot for 1/4 inch again. All the way down. This is a little tricky because this neckline, oh, you know what, we don't have to do that. This part up to this neck seam is going to have a facing. So I'm actually going to start just before that neck seam. So start right there. It is going to be a little tricky because I have to go over that neck seam and it's kind of bulky. So let's see how I do. Okay, so there's my bias tape sewn to my seam allowance there on my zipper. And I've pressed it flat. I'm just going to roll this over to the back. And I'm going to go over that stitching one more time. I'm going to stitch in the ditch from the top all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we'll come back and talk about what to do with the bottom here. Alright, so that is my Hong Kong finish so far. All we have to do is finish off this end. I usually like to wrap it around the end, but this is starting to get really bulky, so I am not going to do that this time. I am going to do this. I'm going to turn it upside down. I am going to lay my bias tape here. It's the same width as my zipper, so these two sides are raw, which is fine. They're not going to fray or anything. And then we're just going to stitch right across that same seam that we did before. Right across there. And it doesn't have to be exactly on that. You're not trying to close the hole or anything. You're just trying to attach this bias tape to your zipper, the bottom of your zipper. Okay, so I've sewn that down. I'm just going to press that down this way, flip it over to the back side, do one more stitch in the ditch right across there, which is going to be tight. And then I'm going to clip off these extra pieces on each side, and that finishing will be done. I would not have actually even bothered to bind this if I thought that the inside looked nicer, but I really hated the way the inside looked. So if I had known I was going to Hong Kong finish my zipper, I would have done it before I put my zipper in. Okay, so now we can put our collar facing on. And when we do that, this is already finished along the edge with the bias, we're going to fold that out to the right side, and we're going to sew this down with 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we're going to do the same thing on this. Just be sure you fold your zipper out this way. And you're going to sew that down with your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then, once you have those two sides done, you can go ahead and sew around the neck with your 5/8 inch seam allowance. So that is the inside of my zipper finished. Not the best binding I've ever done. A couple of things. This pattern calls for 1.5 inches of interfacing to go under your zipper opening. Part of the reason that I wanted to put this binding on in the first place is because it looked really messy. Part of that mess was that the interfacing was just too wide and was sticking out too much. So my recommendation is that when you put your interfacing in, just put 1 inch and not 1.5 inches. If you do want to bind your zipper, I may have already said this, but if you do want to bind your zipper, do that before you put it in, because binding it this way makes it super, super bulky. Okay, what else? Let's take a look at it from the front. This is what it looks like from the front. I'm pretty happy with it. Everything else I've done exactly according to the instructions, with the exception of, since I had extra bias tape and I clearly had not had enough binding, I decided to use it to bind the entire edge of my poncho. And I also mitered my corners, which they don't have you do in the pattern. Neither of those is necessary, but I do think it gives it a really nice finish, and I love the way it looks. The last thing on this that I am going to do differently is over here on the sides where you see I have these pins. You are supposed to put 2 snaps. So one supposedly goes like about here in the hem piece, and one goes right about here. That would be fine, except that I ordered these snaps and they are this sort of gunmetal-y color. I don't really like them on this, is the issue. So I'm going to ditch those. I am actually just going to sew mine together. I've pinned it together right through the stitching line from my hem, and I'm going to sew this together just from here to here. It's about 3.5 inches. I'm going to sew that on both sides, and then I am finished with this poncho. Okay guys, so like I said, I'll let you judge whether or not that's easier than their way to put it in. Oh, I forgot to say, the only other thing is this is supposed to have those little spring snaps on the side, and I showed you in the tutorial, I told you, the spring snaps I got, I just really didn't like with this. They're not black and they're not gray. Gray would not have been my preference anyway. If I had known they were going to be like a gunmetal, then I would have just gone with gold, which would have blended in with the jacket. As it was, I sewed those sides together and it came out just fine. I'm actually really darn happy with this. I think it's a super cute piece. It's really easy to throw over and for a dog walk or whatever. As I said, this one isn't for me, but now that I have made it and I really like it, I do have 2 other pieces of fabric I can use to make another one. I have a really beautiful red wool that is not a knit, so I would have to bind the edges, but as you can see, I have no fear of binding edges since I went overboard on it for this one. The other one I have is another boiled wool. It's just a gray boiled wool, and I could make the same thing out of that. I really, really like this a lot. I also pretty fond of this. I don't know if you can see in the pictures, my rainbow colored zipper. I got that at Wawak, and I'm kind of in love with it. I think I originally purchased it for a bag, and then when I went to make this, my friend Susan had a spare zipper, so she gave me that one. It was black, just with gold or like brass colored teeth, but it wasn't long enough, of course. So I dug around and found this rainbow zipper, and I really like it. I think it's really cool. But what else? I think that is all I have to say about this cute little poncho. It, like I said, I'm kind of in love with it. I think I want to make another one. That is it for me this week. Next week, I think we're going to be doing a refashion of a pair of men's pants I bought at a thrift store. I am going to attempt to turn them into a run-hold style drop crotch trouser. We shall see how I do. Until then, I wish you all happy sewing.